What's up, everybody? This is Lewis from Best Dev Tutorials, and welcome to our jQuery Bootcamp. jQuery is a feature-rich JavaScript library. It's used for rapid development, and it is super easy to understand once you know the basics. So I'll be taking you through jQuery in this bootcamp very quickly and thoroughly at the same time. It's super easy to get started. I'll be showing you in this tutorial a very simple jQuery enabled page here, and it's just a quick page with an H1 and a little paragraph text here. I'll also be using PHP Storm. You could be using whatever editor that you prefer. I just happen to like PHP Storm. And let's get started. So I'm on the jQuery website, and I'm going to go ahead and download it. Or I should say, I'm not going to download it, I'm going to include it. You can download jQuery as a file and then reference that and include it in your project. The way that I prefer to use jQuery is I tend to include it in a CDN, a content delivery network. That way the jQuery files are hosted on another server, so you don't even have to include it in your project here. So I'm going to go ahead and go to Google CDN and just open that in a new tab so you can see. And I'm going to go ahead and include the jQuery 3.x snippet here. And we're going to include that in our web page. So right here, I'm going to add a reference to jQuery in our head tags. And we're going to go ahead and save that. So I'm going to come back to our web page and I'm going to refresh. Nothing will happen here yet, but I'm going to go ahead and go to our console in Chrome. And I'm just going to go ahead and type in jQuery, and we will get a response, meaning that it was included properly in our document. So next thing is we're going to be adding jQuery code below the reference, so it's got to be included first. And I'm going to go ahead and add some script tags. So script type equals text JavaScript. Okay. Now, anytime that we are talking to jQuery, we're going to be using a $, followed by what we're referencing. And in this case, I'm going to be referencing the document keyword. And I'm going to be saying when the document is ready. Okay, open up a function here. Now, this is a bit different than if you've seen in plain vanilla JavaScript, if you've seen window.onload and called functions that way. Window.onload will start functions, start executing once the entire page is loaded, and including images, so that can take a while. In jQuery, we have the document.ready, and that's going to start performing operations once the DOM is ready for us. So just a piece of advice. Get used to this syntax quickly. Go ahead and type that out 10 times if you need to, but it's super easy to figure out. So once the document is ready, we're giving it this function, and jQuery operates based on CSS selectors, which makes it super convenient. So let's go ahead and perform an operation on this div here. So it's very simple to do. Let's go ahead and do the $ again to reference jQuery. And in parentheses and in quotes here, I'm going to reference the div. So the div has an ID of content. And there are so many jQuery functions you'll be able to find on the website, but we'll be going through them through this crash course. So I'll just use the append function for now. And this is just so you can get up and running and understand what's going on. So it's selector, the name of the function here, and then what are we appending in this case? Let's append a paragraph tag. It auto-closed for me. And I'll just say the document is done loading. So I'm going to come back to our page and I'll click refresh, and once it's done loading, this paragraph tag here was appended to the div that has an ID of content. And I'll just show you another function that we can do. Let's go ahead and take the same selector. We can just go down to the next line. And every line, by the way, will be ending with a semicolon. That's to let it know that we are done moving on to the next instruction. Another function that we can have here is, let's say, add class. So we can literally add a CSS class to that element. So let's go ahead. And so the functions read as follows. When the document is ready, referencing the content div, we're going to append this. Document is done loading. And then we're going to add a class called loaded. So I'm going to go ahead and come back here and I will refresh. Okay, so the document is done loading. That part we can see. I'm going to go back over here. And notice how the class loaded was added to the div of content. So that is our first jQuery enabled page. And in the next section, we will be going ahead and I'll show you different selectors that we can use. It won't just be the div ID references. There's going to be class references and tag references and also filters. So I hope this helps, and I will see you in the next tutorial.